Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. It's Stuart here from my shop, the Woolpatch, a yarn shop in Long Melford, Suffolk, UK, and as always, producing in my ear and in the chat there, the YouTube chat, live is producer Fizz, keeping us all in check, keeping the schedule on go. We've got a nice little hour's show planned after the mayhem of the birthday show last month. Where did those weeks go, Fizz? That's 4 weeks just gone. I know, absolutely crazy. So we've got a nice, calm show, nothing technical at all. It was a nice, easy tech with me and Fizz Friday night. So we can sit, chat, talk to you about all things knitting, crochet, fibre related, and of course, Game of Wool. We've got all the details for you coming up later on. Lots of things to talk about. New projects casting on, ones that I've finished. All the usuals too. It's kind of a mix of old and new because we've got Guest the Year and we've got the gallery. We've got our last ever Patterns That Bring Me Joy because I thought we need some new features as we start our 10th year and we had our celebration show in September. We need some new features and I would like your help. And I've already seen loads of people here in the chat. Papa's 1, 2, 3, 4. Good to see you. And Diggy Crafts, Jen, Fran, crocheting poppies, brilliant. And Sue, still toiling away with the MCAL. I'll let you know my update in a little while. And I see Karen there. Good evening, one and all, from a wet and chilly Wigan. Yes, it's wet and chilly here. We've got the fire on. Yes. At last, we're getting to that perfect knitting, crocheting, sewing, embroidery, whatever atmosphere. And Michelle, evening from a blustery Suffolk. It is a bit. I just nipped to the car because I forgot something to get something out. And I thought, oh, and the rain too. Did all my hair. I'm working on some granny squares with a cheeky glass of wine. Yes, I've got a bit of beer on the go. I'll slug that in a minute. But I wanted your help as the show goes on. And this is the deal. You don't have to come up with any feature ideas. You just have to come up with a title. Then me and Fizz will work out what the feature will be. So as the hour goes on, maybe just have it thinking away and then drop it in the chat. And then me and Fizz will get creative. So as I say, you don't have to come up with the plan. You could just give us a title. Now, I did this back at school as a teacher with my class. And I said, right, let's have some registration activities every morning with my form for 25 minutes. And we'll play some games or some exercise and whatnot. But I don't know what it is. You've got to come up with a name and then we'll do it. And one of them was, I think someone was inspired by a game off the radio. And they put in, they wrote it down and handed it in, and it was Teacher Raspberry. And I thought, wow, this is going to be interesting. And I thought, well, yes. So what we could do is, so they put the title out and I went off and I recorded teachers doing raspberries and they had to guess who the teacher was. It was brilliant, inspired, silly game that we did once a week. So that's the idea. So you haven't got to do all the hard work. Me and Fizz will do that. You just got to come up with a cool title. And whatever that title is could inspire a game. So that's your homework for the hour. The idea of something new. I know how creative you are. Hey, Jimbo. Evening all. And Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Good to see you too. After our lovely day of knitting and nattering yesterday. How you get... Ooh, you should see Lynn's MCAL. Stunning green colours. Keep toiling away at yours too, Lynn. So yes, so the idea of new next month. And as the year goes on, we'll have some new features. But don't worry, we're not getting rid of the gallery and we're not getting rid of Guest a Year because they're like staples. We want to always celebrate your work and what you're making, and we know how it inspires people. So as always, keep sending in your pics or keep tagging us on Instagram, as Dinky Crafts has done. Jen, you've got loads there. Some are going to go into the gallery into November, but one is in for this gallery too, because the gallery resets back to normal. If you didn't see our celebration show last month, it was great fun. We were celebrating 10 years and 10 makes over those 10 years. And I chose the 10 best makes and you all voted for your favourite one. And it was very much a surprise which was number one. I thought it was going to be the crochet flower cardigan that Colin made for me. Which one did you think it was going to be, Fizz? I also thought it... Oh, you did pick that one, did you? Fizz picked the one that was number one as well. I was really amazed at that. Then I thought Jubilee might have won it. But if you didn't see it, and I'm saying that because, Fizz, we are welcoming new watchers and viewers this month, whether on catch-up or live. I keep seeing new W's appearing. Did you see on the front screen there, Fizz? 3 new members, Lynn being one of them too. We've got Lynn, we've got Jill, Bertie and Poppet, and we've got Whitney. Whitney sent me an email too. I hope you're watching, Whitney. It was lovely for you to email me to say you love watching the show, and she's now going through the back catalogue, but I hope you're here watching live. I know some people don't comment, they just like watching along. Some people watch on catch up and then comment, and some people, like who we have here, watch live and join in too. I can see Teresa. Hey Teresa, good to see you. Wonderful. Oh, I'm loving it already. Fizz, put it down. That's a... Oh my God, my brain's now... Oh, guess who's stash? I'm loving this. See, I told you to be creative. You don't have to work the game out. Me and Fizz will do that. And then see them appearing throughout the show. We'll keep coming back to those as the show goes on. So for new members, welcome new members. Your support is greatly appreciated. Let's just show you what the top 10 was last celebration show. And you can see which number one, which Fizz voted for too. so good to see all that again. We were just chatting as that was going on, which was our favourite one. And the flower shirt, the crochet, the red one, is definitely my favourite. And I see Jen, she voted for it too. I absolutely love it. I think it might be definitely my favourite out of all of them. And then looking at the Go-Go Dynamo, there's just something about it. I now can look at that and go, wow, even more, especially after seeing this year's one. And that's all about design, isn't it? Every design is going to be different. And some bits you're going to like and some bits you're not going to. And I don't think it was the design that sort of put the nail in the nail in the coffin for me for the MCAL this year. I think it was those welts. But when I do the 10, well, it won't be 10 years, 10 makes next year, it'll be something else. But when we look back at what we make, we're not going to have an MCAL this year because I'm out. And yes, Lynn's going to shout at me even more for dropping out. But it happened 3 years ago with the twists and turns. And I forgot to say in the preamble of the exciting thing about West Knits and doing it. Are you all excited? Yeah, I can't wait. I should have said, but if I get stuck or I don't like it, I often just drop out completely. I don't soldier on. And that is what happened. So I dropped out pretty much on week one. And it was kind of the welts that did it for me. Do you want to see where I got to? Let's go to the desk cam and have a look. There it is. So there was my first scallop. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And you can see I started to change things about. Brioche for me only works when you have the light colour on top. I couldn't quite understand why he had that beautiful, in his sample, that beautiful, was it like a neon green in the background, because you couldn't see it. I wanted that on the top. So I changed around with the pop colour and the main colour because I knew the effect that had on brioche. You then get the lovely sort of chains going up. And then I started to play around with the welts, partly because I've got all these lovely blues and I thought that would look nice to do that. But yes, I did struggle with the welts because, but certainly with this one, the second welt, there wasn't enough contrast when you were picking up those bumps. So I had a chat with Jimmy, and then he came up with the idea of either using double pointed needles and picking them all up first of all, or putting stitch markers, the bulb stitch markers on each one and then pulling them up and putting them on your needle. And I got it, no problems at all. And as I say, I got to the third one. And then I then thought, see, I'm not very good. This is me at the gym. If someone tells me, if my PT says to me, you've got to do 10 reps, I'm happy with that. I actually prefer it if he says 8 or 6. But sometimes he'll say 15 or 20, and then I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm out. My brain just can't compute with those high amounts. Like, don't want to do it. And that's kind of what got me here. And a bit like with twists and turns, you had to do that 10 cast on, cast off, all across the row. And then you had to repeat all that row another 40 odd times. So I was like, just not very good with that mentally. So that's it. I'm out. And it was a case of this. I enjoyed the time that it took, the creativity in making that, and I love it. I just couldn't do all that work again. But I thought I'll give it a go. So Lynn knit and natter a couple of weeks ago when I'd already dropped out. So that would have been right. They all jokingly had a go at me. He said, oh, you can't give up when you said you were going to do it. We all did it together. So I then felt bad. So I thought, okay, I'll give it another go. So after I saw you, Lynn, I spent the weekend doing Scallop 2. And you could see, happy as Larry. And then, I even did the first welt. But when I then started to do that whole join on thing, and then the linking between scallop 2 and scallop 1, yeah, I just was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't do this another 6 times. I would have been completely different. It was 3. I think I could have done that. And this is where I look back at the Go-Go Dynamo and I'm like, I was really lucky with that. Because remember with the Go-Go, you had that similar thing. I called them rainbows then. You had 2 complete rainbows. You filled the 2 in and then you had an outie and an outie. Mentally, that was just enough. I could cope with that. Oh no, I think it was 3. Actually, I think it was 3 rainbows, wasn't it? So you mastered the first one. I went, phew. Oh, I can manage the second one knowing you've only got 1 more. But 6 scallops couldn't do it. So well done to those of you who not only mastered 6 scallops and 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 welts. You've then gone on to do clue 2, clue 3, and soon to be clue 4. It definitely is a shawl that looks particularly stunning with a certain colourway. In other colourways, I've looked at it and gone, ooh, this is like a proper, because it's called the Musicale, and he was, I think in some discussions, he was saying like an orchestra. That's how I felt it. So that's how I look at it. It's compartments, isn't it? It's the violins, the string section, and then this section is the brass section. And they're all quite different, but when all put together, it does look beautiful when styled. It really does work. But when I look at the Go-Go Dynamo, I think, I don't think it comes anywhere near the Go-Go Dynamo. Now, I've only been doing West Knit shawls, the MCAL, for 2 or 3 years. Let me know in the comments how you think this one competes with all, is it 15 others? Because there are some stunners. I know, Jimbo, you've done many. Does it come near? Does it come close? Is it in your top 5 maybe? Top 3? Let us know. I think it is a certain type. Fizz, did you carry on with yours? Right, okay. She did 2 scallops. She got further than me. And then she was like, no, not doing it anymore. So let me know in the comments if you're still in. Say in if you're still in with it. I'm in. Let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to the MCAL in 2026 already. Evening, Anthony. Good to have you here. Another W there too. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Loved the Alicia, sorry, I keep saying your name wrong. Alicia Plummer. I love it too. And funny enough, Jeff, it's here because I've been wearing it. I absolutely loved this knit and the yarn too. Sue gifted me the yarn and it was Triskelion and it's merino and it's so soft. There is nothing slightly scratchy about it at all. I wear it next to my skin, no problems at all. And I absolutely love it to the point where I knit it again. And I think I might take that lovely broken rib further down. Losing my knit, Jeff says, the Go-Go was my first and only in real time. Oh, well done. With the other ones, you've been a few weeks behind or something. And how does this year's compare? Jimbo says some of the colorways are Bach and some are I see. Like, oh, he's definitely out. Yeah. Hey T, you're still in. Right, so we need your pictures. So please tag me on Instagram. It would be nice to do a special gallery of all our Wers and have an MCAL Musicale gallery. Keep going then, T. Hey Lois, all right. Very well, doing great. Sue's still in, but I'm changing the colour layout on clue 3. Good for you. That's what I like about this. You can take control over that and look at your colours and change them. Have a lot more of colour 3 not used. So we'll use more of it on the slip stitch clue 3 section. Brilliant. Anthony, you're still in. First, and it's your first one. Oh, good. Brilliant. That's really good then, because if you can do this one, you can do any of them, I reckon, with the way this has worked with this modular and that the wavy bit. Was that clue 2? And how it sort of disappears in. Karen says, I'm not good with the MCAL. I can't bring myself to invest so much time knitting, something I might not. That's it. And that's where I do feel bad, because I know on our Saturday afternoon club, some people went out and spent a fair bit of money on yarn and got all excited. Whereas me, I'm just using my lavender and blue. So it's like, yeah, okay, no worries. So I haven't really lost anything there. But I do completely understand from that point of view. Some people won't do it because of that. Emma, how are you? Being a crochet, yes, but your crochet is something to be talked about too. Emma was a new member last month and is a crocheter extraordinaire, and we're working together at the moment with some beautiful cotton and paper lavender and blue, and I've already seen some sneak peeks of what she's making and it looks amazing. I've just got to get my rear into gear and dye some more of that yarn, Emma, and then we can go for a launch of your fabulous pattern. I can't wait to show everyone. And actually, I think we've prepared this, haven't we, Fizz? I think, have you got some links to drop in for Emma? Can't remember. Did we have that? They're at the bottom. Oh, yes. Just check my schedule. Oh, yes, it is there. Yeah, because we were going to mention Emma then in the last part before 9 o'clock, but I've mentioned you now. So there we go. See, it is prepared. Go and take a look at some of Emma's fabulous crochet work. In fact, Emma's going to be appearing in the gallery too, because the gallery hasn't been normal for a good couple of months, because we had a special gallery. What were we celebrating, Fizz? I can't remember now. Like September's gallery and then August's gallery. We had it was Cocky Crocheter. We were celebrating all the Dreamweaver, the vest tops. That one in the cotton. Oh, yes. And then the last one was the first ever gallery. So we haven't actually had a normal gallery. So at 8:30, or well, maybe a bit later, we'll go back to having a normal gallery. And so I've gone back over August and September and actually July to have a look at all the tags that you tagged me in. And you'll see some fabulous ponchos from Emma. So you'll see her work. Speaking about channel members too, Fizz, I forgot to tell you this. YouTube have allowed us to have more badges. So you know all the W's there in the chat, all the different colours. Well, there are currently 5 W's, and it changes the longer you're a channel member. Well, when you get to 1 year, you get the special yellow, the gold yellow, you know, that's all our branding. You get the yellow W. And you start off with linen, and they go through different colours of the natural fibres that I dye with. Linen, and then onion skin, and I think it goes madder, then lavender and blue, and then yellow. But YouTube have now allowed us to have up to 10 colours of W's. Woo! I know, Fizz just gasped in my ear. So I've got to get designing, and I know I've got to get designing different colours, and how to make them look. In the chat, So that will be exciting too. Right. Yeah, so that's the end of me MCAL. I loved it while I was in it, but now I'm out. Can't wait to see what you all make. Now, no, Fizz doesn't like those welts either. One welt per scallop would have been great as well, because then that would have been it would have been 6 welts, and I could have coped with that. It wouldn't have put me off. Such a lightweight. Okay, guess the year coming up, and we are looking back at the first Unpicked. Unpicked was the after show of Sewing Bee, because some of these TV programmes used to have after shows. So here in the UK, when we had The Apprentice, we had the after show straight after the episode aired, and you had You're Fired. Big Brother, when that first episode appeared, and every episode after, you then turned over to another channel, I think it was E4, wasn't it? And then you had Big Brother's Little Brother. Well, we wanted to do the same for Sewing Bee. And because in the YouTube world, we thought we would chat about the Sewing Bee. But when we first started Unpicked, it literally was at the shop, because Ting used to come over to the shop quite regularly. And of course, we had Anya too. So if me and Anya would talk about it one week, then if Ting visited on a Saturday, he would then talk about it. So he would often appear maybe 4 or 5 weeks out of the 10. And we would just chat. Well, who knew that 6 years later, the Sewing Bee Unpicked would form a huge audience and almost a annual sort of thing to watch on my channel, where we would get viewers who would subscribe and we'd say goodbye to them for a year, and then they would come back again for a year. It was lovely. It was like migrating birds coming back home. And it's like, oh, this is good to see you again for the next 10 weeks of sewing chat. And we kept it going, even though we stopped doing fabric, we kept it going. And it's turned into a real big show. We've interviewed many of the sewers over the years. We've had them guest appearing, and it's been wonderful. And we always said during the run of the Sewing Bee, wouldn't it be good to have a Sewing Bee programme, but with knitting? We never knew how it could be done, though. How could you do it with that time limit? How could you knit quick enough to have anything to show? Because you know how long it takes to even do like 10 rows of stocking stitch. That's going to take 3 or 4 hours, isn't it? Especially in 4-ply. But they've done it. And the Game of Wool, the first competition programme that stars knitting and crochet, is starting this time next week. In fact, we'll be halfway through it because it starts at 8 o'clock. So the Woolpatch Show is going to have to change November, because we can't broadcast because we'll be watching it. And we're going to be doing our own version of Unpicked, your after show for Game of Wool, and that's called Unravelled. More about that later, but you've got to guess the year of the very first Unpicked that we did with Anya and Ting in the shop. I don't know how we did it. Customers were still coming in, but we still recorded it. Take a look at this picture and get ready to guess the year, and you'll have a minute to pop in your answers into the chat or to shout it out wherever you are. Let us know what date you're going to go for, what year. So we're at the shop, so it's clearly not going to be before 2016 because I've been there for 10 years. But Anya's there. When did I start doing it with Anya on YouTube? What year are you going to go for? The first year that we recorded our first episode is still here on YouTube. You can go and watch it. It's probably a bit cringe. Let us know. Drop it in the chat. Karen's coming out with 2017. See that. Michelle's going for 2019. Lois 2018. Emma 2016. Jen 2020. Come on, keep the guesses coming in. Jeff's going for 2018. Anthony 2018. Fran 2018. 10 seconds left. Keep them coming in. 2015. Look how young we all look there. My, how we've changed over 10 years. The first ever unpicked episode. We were talking about it with very few notes as well. We had no pictures then. We literally just said what we liked, what worked, perhaps what didn't work. And Ting started to get, as you know, if you've watched Unpicked, very colourful with his language and made us all laugh. A fair few slippers were thrown, and then that was born. We would get excited about what Ting was going to get angry at next. Hey, Mary, good to have you with us. 2018, Mary's going to go for. Roll on to 2025, and now we use pictures, we have screen grabs. It makes watching Unpicked so much more fun, and the audience has grown hugely. 2018, most of you are saying 2020, the year of our very first Unpicked was 2019. Who did we have winning? Michelle. Well done. Brilliant. If you didn't get it, don't worry. Better luck next time.
Daly is at the helm as 10 top knitters escape to the Scottish wilds for the ultimate yarn showdown.
Oh, okay. We're doing that now.
From wearable art to wool and wonders, who will stitch up the win to be crowned Britain's knitting champion?
Let's get knitting.
A brand new series, Game of Wool, Britain's best knitter on Channel 4.
Is an unpaid ad, that one. There it is, everyone. Have you seen the ad yet? We'll go through it again in a little bit more detail. So, the Game of Wool, a competition program that has knitting and crochet and fibre as its base. They're looking, as they say in the trail, for Britain's best knitter, even though many of those challenges are crochet. Think we perhaps may have to park that tagline. It may infuriate many a person, but in theory they're looking for Britain's best knitter. It's on for 8 weeks. They've got 10 knitters. I auditioned for the show. If you want to see more about my ramblings of my audition that I did before Christmas 2024, that's in our special chats that we've been doing with Lizzie, where I talk all about it and a few insights to the programme there. But let's go through the ad in a little bit more detail so I can play it here. No sound this time. But look at that. So it's filmed in Scotland, Scottish Highlands, and by a Scottish broadcast company, Hello Halo. And actually on the voiceover there is the Scottish voice too. So it's very much underpinning the whole show. Judges are Di and, I can't remember the Diane. No, I can't remember. There's two of them because it's their own company. Di Gilpin's own company are the judges. And look at that. I just love how they've taken the yarn barn, as they're calling it, and morphed it with its wool of wool. Let's keep going through. And Tom there in his cool outfits. He's clearly going to be in some cool designery sort of approach knitwear. They are the 10 knitters, crocheters. Game of Wool are going to be releasing them next week on Tuesday. They've posted on Instagram to say the big reveal is coming. There's a few sneak peeks there. And look at that. Let's just scroll back. I'm loving... where can we get to it? Look at that. Loving this cozy feel. So you can imagine challenge, you've got 5 hours to knit this. Sitting on those comfy chairs. I could do with my feet up somewhere, probably put it on the table. So it kind of comes across as informal. I'm kind of liking that. Snug and cozy. And look at all the yarn on the walls there. All that colour-coded yarn. Look, I think there's some symphony needles, are they, from Knit Pro? Now, those knitters that we've seen there, I don't recognise any. Remember, the audition day was London, Manchester and Glasgow. Around about 40, 50 at each audition. I think there might have been more at the London one. But I don't recognise anyone so far. Oh, look at that. Is it a cool outfit there? Very textural based. It's shaggy. It's like a Dulux dog, isn't it? Look at that. And then look. So this must be a make, like they do on the Sewing Bee, where they have a model to model one of the outfits. Now, there are 2 challenges each week. As far as we know, based on the proposal form that was on More 4, there's the big challenge, and then there's the wee challenge. So I'm guessing the big challenge is a team-based activity, and then the wee challenge is an independent, making something smaller in fewer hours, so it's more achievable. But I'm guessing this one might be a team challenge. Could that be where people have had to knit, say, 30 squares to make a dress, and then someone's done an arm, someone's done the squares, someone's done the neck, who knows? And then look, crochet, everybody. Now that is like watching the Sewing Bee. Whether that's an individual make or a green make, I don't know. Say again, Viz? I think that's a lion. Who knows what the brief is? It might be to create a kid's garment for a fancy dress theme. You kind of think like the Sewing Bee, a fancy dress theme to the zoo, or maybe it's a birthday party and you've got to go as a zoo animal. But I'm guessing that's a lion or a tiger. But is that a wee make? Has someone made that? Or is that a group make where someone has made the pocket, someone has done the fringing and the hood? I'm just trying to think, if I got set 8 hours to crochet that, could I crochet that in 8 hours? That's true. You could say the wristlets are different from the leg, so it has the wristlets been done by someone. Who knows? But we will get to see it at some point. But isn't it good to see crochet? Even though they're looking for their best knitter, Britain's best knitter. and more crochet there as well. That looks cool. I can see it being very design-based for sure. Ideas of different knitwear, different textures, playing around with stitches. And is that going to be a challenge? Is that a group challenge, do we think? Making a deck chair? And then for what picture are you going to do on the deck chair? Any ideas about that? Oh, hey, Kiwi James. It's a very good point. Fizz just said in my ear, could the ad be a complete red herring and it's not giving away anything at all? Absolutely could be. This could just be some fun stuff that they've already got prepared. Who knows? But you'd like to think it's filmed and they've taken from the edit little snippets to whet our taste buds. Thanks, James. Yes, Sheila. The two work together for their own yarn company. Lois says, I hope it's good, but it's hard to imagine how they're going to manage the relatively slow speed. That's it. And I think for us to really enjoy it and to not get too involved, I think we have to forget the whole time thing. Because I know many of us with the sewing bee, when we were first watching it, we were like, that's too short a time, that's too short a time. What are they doing? If they've got the time balance right, I think we could see some phenomenal stuff. But I think that's where I think the team element is going to be used to get around the time. Because I'm just thinking, if they said to me, 3 hours to do this, and I'm doing stocking stitch, and then Tom comes to me like 2 hours later, how are you getting on? And I'll be like, I've just done another 10 rows. Sorry, I haven't done much. So it doesn't make for good telly. So they will have thought about the challenges and how time can be used and how they can perhaps manipulate it to still get, hopefully, some amazing knits. That's why I think it will be design based, so it will be cool, funky, different. Thick wools probably we might see appearing a lot, but then open stitches, mesh stitches to try and make it grow quicker. So someone with a design capability probably will do very well. If I was on there, well, I wouldn't be on there because I'm not very good, not very creative. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't, Fizz, no, because it would be, I just like following a pattern and then doing 20 rows of stocking stitch. But to be that creative where you might put a hole in it, or you might use a different stitch to open it up, then use some chunky, and it's all like a design student sort of thing. That's where I think. Let's keep going. More knitting. No, I'm not going to give any names away, but the two gentlemen there were at my audition. And the gentleman on the left of your screens does some phenomenal 4-ply colour work. No doubt that is a jumper that he has made himself and designed himself. He is phenomenal and is wonderful. I very much enjoyed leaving Game of Wool audition and walking to the tube with him and having a chat. So it doesn't surprise me at all to see him there. I can't wait to see the names all revealed so we can go, yay. But that, I think, is a team challenge. Let's just go back. They're obviously, I think, a team of 4 there, aren't they? And they've had, I mean, what have they got there? You can see there looks like some green tinsel yarn, then there's some red bits, then the gentleman in black is weaving or attaching something on. So that's going to be perhaps one of the team big challenges. And it looks like they're frenetic going around. Oh, look. And he was like, ooh, this is going to be fabulous. the time. And then look at that cool outfit that Tom's got there. I'd love that top. It's going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be absolutely... It's just going to be fascinating to watch. Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be fascinating. Dinky Grass Jen, some of my friends in the States want to... I know. And I'm sure there'll probably ways around. Don't know what those ways are, but I'm sure people will find it. Mary, wonder if they will feature any particular yarn brands or designs. Well, they will. I think they might be able to because it's Channel 4. I've already seen on one of the teasers Rowan yarn because the labels were on the floor. Another yarn company has already Instagrammed. Lovely to see our yarn being used on the Game of Wool. So it will be there. How obvious it will be, I don't know. We don't know if it's part of advertising, whether we'll see yarn companies being advertised in the advert breaks, who knows. Quite easy to condense 5 hours of knitting into a 1 hour show. Yes, not much happening, is there, really, if it was stocking stitch? Oh, dear. Now, absolutely. One of the auditionees, when I was there, actually asked in their interview, are they preparing for having anyone on set? Because if you get to week... it's 8 weeks, 10 contestant, 8 weeks. If you get to week 8, and that's probably over 3 or 4 weeks of filming, 3 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 2 days off sort of thing. knitting potentially 5 or 6 hours over 2 or 3 days. But they did say they were going to have people on set ready to support the knitters because of that. So they had taken that into account. Is that going to be on a local channel? Well, on the Game of Wool Instagram, which no doubt Fizz has already posted into the chat, because we'll post the link so you can look at the teaser ad on Instagram too. There were people saying, Netflix, you've got to pick this up, you've got to show it, because I think there is a huge audience out there. Well, we've seen it with Sewing Bee. A huge audience out there who would watch it. And some of BBC and some of Channel 4 have been picked up with Netflix and shown on Netflix. So you never know. But yes, it's Channel 4 here in the UK. I don't know how Channel 4 operates abroad. Maybe they might do something with it. There's BritBox. I don't know whether BritBox is still a thing abroad or not. Karen, I hope there'll be some educational stuff mixed in. The sort of input Amber has on... I do. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Absolutely. The only thing is with being on a commercial channel is its time. It's an hour show. You're probably losing 10 to 15 minutes for 3 advert breaks. So it's 45 minutes, hence only having 2 challenges rather than 3. But yes, you'd like to. It would be really nice. This is what's going to be exciting. Ooh. So exciting that we are doing your very own after show for it. Now, you've probably heard all before. Some of you are probably now rolling your eyes, oh, Stuart, yes, we know you're doing it with Lizzie. But if you don't, we are on YouTube. Well, it's our first ever time doing it, so we don't know fully yet when we're going to record. So far, we've been recording on Monday. So we could be recording Monday and uploading Monday evening, or we could be recording Tuesday and uploading Tuesday evening. Either way, it's going to be either Monday or Tuesday. And if you can't watch it, you can watch our show because I will do the screen grabs. So we're not just going to talk about it and then you go, what on earth are they talking about? What was his make? Well, that sounds a bit weird. We'll be taking screen grabs and putting them on the screen and doing it just like we do with Unpicked with Ting, except it'll be me and Lizzie. And Lizzie is from the Sewing Bee too, but she's a big knitter. So it's going to be lovely to do, lovely to talk about the challenges, how they did, how they didn't do, and bring that show to you. So if you can't watch it, if you can't find it through your other means, you can tune in to us and watch it vicariously through us. Can't wait. One important thing to remember is we are celebrating knitting and crochet and all sorts of fibre, because I'm sure there's going to be hand spun on there. I'm sure we're going to see slivers and carded yarn for felting or for sculptural work. Sure, to make all these different textures, and especially if you're doing a post box topper, you might use uncarded yarn for like snow or whatever, or making a snowman. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of fibre. That has to be celebrated. And I am going down that route, having yarn, knitting, crochet, fibre on national mainstream telly at 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. It's got to be wonderful. It's got to be wonderful for so many things. For celebrating that, celebrating the skill of our craft, and also our community, which, as we know, is a wonderful community, accepting, tolerant, appreciative of age and all sorts of diversity. And that's the route I think I'm going to go down for sure. Yes, time might be irritating for many. Yes, I know some people are going to be going, well, you can't do that in 8 hours. No, you can't. But this is a fun show to show off knitting. And it's not about priceless heirloom knitwear that will be used for time to come. It's just about looking at these skills, how we can use our skills to make something and be judged and to celebrate it on telly. That's what we're going to be doing. That's what we have to celebrate. I'm going to be doing lots of shows. I'm hopefully going to be doing some yarn shows to celebrate local yarn shops, because we might be welcoming new people to knitting and crochet, and they need to go and buy their stuff. And we want them to come to a yarn shop, not online. Not to an online Big John, not to Amazon. Don't be buying your knitting needles off Amazon. Try and come to a local yarn shop. So I'll be there doing some yarn shop shows. We're hopefully going to be doing some shows where we might pick out some skills or some yarn that was appearing in Game of Wool, and then I can talk about it in more detail. It might just be me on my own. So we'll have me and Lizzie. We might have me on my own talking about yarn shops. I'm hoping that we'll be able to interview some yarn shop owners all around the UK too, because people will be watching and maybe taking it up. So there will be so many things to celebrate on this first ever show. And I know the Danes beat us to it. Was it last year or the year before with their knitting show? It will be interesting to see how much of their show is in Game of Wool. And if you want to watch the Danish version, just go to YouTube and put in Danish knitting show, and it's wonderful. You can see some similarities. You can see the cozy chairs, and it being in a old-fashioned building, stone building. But obviously it's Danish, so you won't understand it. You have to watch the subtitles. Fizz has just said, will we recreate some of the challenge? We could do. There is so much fun. There is so much fun we could have with it, isn't there, Fizz? Oh, who did? Oh yeah, Jeff. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. And then seeing how. I'm going to be rubbish. I was rubbish at the audition. I only just managed to complete the super chunky hat. We were given 90 minutes to make a super chunky hat. There was my yarn, and they said, off you go, make your super chunky hat. Follow this pattern. You could have done it however you like. It was a flat pattern, but some people were adapting it and knitting in the round. Some people were doing it old school like this for speed. You saw the speed of them. And I was just doing it flat. I thought I was a quick knitter too. I just finished it. But then there were people that finished and did amazing embellishments. So they didn't just finish the hat, they had made a hat. Some had pom-poms on, some had different stitch patterns on. I'm like, whoa. And that's when I knew I was out. I was like, yeah, I am just a knitter. I just follow a pattern. There were some creative people at that audition day that blew me out of the park. And that's why I'm excited to see what stunning creations they're going to make. Regardless, it's going to be so cool. Lois, it would be good if they had well, they've got sheep there. The producer said he wanted real sheep on set, so you never know. Oh dear. Oh, Bob, good to see you. You're on. Fern's mum, Di Gilpin. I know, and I've only just found out about this. I've had a yarn shop for 10 years. How did I not know? Channel 4 does have a YouTube channel, maybe. Oh, yes, they might do. That's a very good point. Or certainly teasers and trailers. Kiwi James, if I were on the show, I'd be a mix of gasbacking, giggling away and... Oh, well, if I wouldn't be on the show because I'd be too boring because I was just concentrating on my knit. I wasn't really talking and anything. The room next door, there was lots of laughing going on, and I've since found out that one of the contestants was the one making all the laughing. So it's not surprised that she's got on. So it's going to be great to see that character, whoever that character is, when they release them. Oh, brilliant. So there we are. All get excited. Next week, if you're in the UK, 8 p.m, and then watch Unravelled the day after, and then support it as much as you can. Coming to our channel supports us and the yarn shop. We'll be selling stuff. We've got so many prizes to give away. I've joined up with Katia, the wonderful Spanish company. You guys, you will not believe some of the prizes we've got. And I'm going off piste a bit now, Fizz. What have we got coming up? The gallery, haven't we? I've got an ad and a drink break. Okay, all right. I will have a drink when we do the ad, when we do the gallery. I did say it was only going to be an hour show because it was just chatting. But look at this from Katia. Beautiful suede mint green, or what would you call it? Duck egg blue. But look at this, people. These are prizes. This is to give away. Look, and it's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got another zip here. To give away. And do you know what? I haven't just got one, nor two. How many years have we been open for a shop? I can hear you shout it out. 10, of course. I've got 2 in a pack. I've got so much. Katia have been phenomenal because I went to them. I said, we've got this new program starting. I'd like to work with you. Would you like to join us so we can celebrate knitting and crochet with my community and give away some prizes? And they went, hell yeah. Do you want to see some more? I've got stitch stoppers. 10 of. Look. Like the cool cocoa knit ones. Look at those stitch stoppers there. Look. 100% you. Oh. So we can give one of these away. 10 of them for 1 week. And you'll get so excited. It's like Christmas. Well, it was when I opened the box. Look at these. Oh. Measuring pack. You've got wraps per inch. You've got your needle gauge. You've got your tension gauge. 10 of them. These fabulous crochet hooks. I love these. In fact, I've got my own one already, so I don't have to. Oh, I don't have to nick them. But look. These are so handy to have in your little work pouch if you drop a stitch for knitting. How wonderful that a yarn company was like, yes, we'll work with you. And it's not strict. I don't have to do anything. I just say their name because I want to, because I stock their yarn too. I've got some yarn as well that we're kind of going to give away and ultimately sell too, because you might like a yarn so much that you then might buy it from me. So maybe they'll cover sock yarn 1 week. That's what I'm hoping. Maybe they might make a sock, or they'll do something with 4-ply. Well, Katia have given me some 4-ply to give away and hopefully to sell. So maybe it will come back to the Woolpatch through new customers, through YouTube views, and new customers who win a prize. What else have we got? I've got tote bags. It's so much. So if you do watch Unravelled with me and Lizzie, let's do the plug again. Where has it gone? Unravelled. You could win a prize. We're going to be doing YouTube prizes. We're going to be giving prizes for people who walk in to a physical local yarn shop too. And there'll be people will win prizes for just commenting too. All different ways of building a community. Who's excited now? Who's excited? Come on, pop it in the chat. I'm excited. Fizz, are you excited? She's excited. Phew, I thought she was asleep then. Isn't it just? And that's what I love, Bob. Oh, she's just resting her voice. That's a tip for me to rest mine. And that's what I like about it. It's brand new. It's something never been done before. And they were up for doing something to celebrate it and to get more people into the community and to just thank the people who were already there. Because let's remember there are people who've been knitting for eons. And we want to celebrate them too. Okay, I'm going to press the add button and see what happens. And then, here's the add button now. And then I will go into the gallery and we'll enjoy a couple of minutes of the gallery. And then, whilst you're watching the gallery, I'm going to have a look at how many I'm excited are appearing in the chat. If I press the right button, here we go. Oh, Jan, your cover stitch machine, that baby lock, looks brilliant. And Dinky Craft Jen and that wave crochet, which is what I'm working on. When I finish that, was supposed to be a test crochet for poor old Kelly. I'm nearly finished with it though. I'm doing it in this yarn. This is yarn that I did sell in the shop. I've all out of stock of the blue, but it sold so well, I'm going to keep it going for next summer because the colours are beautiful and they are releasing new colours. I know, Emma, if you're still watching, you loved Illusion. I've got one colourway left in the shop, so I'll add more when they get released. They probably won't get released till next year. Yes, so that was good to see that from Dicky Graph's Jen. And then Michael, whew, what a jumper that was. Whew, stunning. There was some knit work there. Now, talking about knit work, many people are excited. And I've just been, I love it. It's just what I love about YouTube. What's that? They said helping, yes. Is that? There we are. I mean, yes, you're just saying. I love Katia. They do a lot of plant-based yarns. Yes, we'll have to try and get some in. I'll have to dig around, see what I've got in the shop. Leah's excited, amazing, so excited. Yes, Bev. Hey, Bev, I'm excited. Lynn's excited. Fran, yes. I'm excited. Love it. Anthony, I'm excited. Michelle, isn't it just? And that's what I like. Something new, embracing it, trying it. We have no idea how it's going to go. And as I say, regardless of whether you're a fan of it or not, I just think it's something to be celebrated on mainstream telly to have. Now, also, I know there are many people in the chat of a certain age and generation who will be perhaps on my sort of span of age. There may be many people at home watching, but Sunday nights for me, as a kid, you know, that feeling of that school didn't kick in until after Howard's Way. Oh, Sunday night for me, and I loved the music as well. So, but after that, that was it. I knew it was bedtime. I know for many it's Antiques Roadshow, but could this be the new programme for Sunday evening that makes Sunday evening, and then as soon as it's done, that feeling of, I've got to get ready for work now, or I've got to stack the dishwasher before going to bed. Let me know in the chat, what programme was it for you on Sunday night that signified the end of the weekend? Because I think now Game of Wool, 8 p.m. Sunday night, it is going to be it. It's the new Antiques Roadshow. It's the new Howard's Way. I'll give you some time to have a think. Downton Abbey. Oh, right. Oh, do you know what? I never watched it, Fizz. I don't. I know. It's just one of those things. No, yeah, Fizz is saying a lot of her friends, they don't watch the same thing. It's the same here. I loved Howard's Way. Am I bringing back memories now? Lois loved it as well. Oh, Heartbeat. Oh, yes, that was a generation too, wasn't it? That went on for many a season. Let us know. But I think this could be the new thing for a Sunday evening. No, the only thing was, like, they're going to have to start auditioning soon if it gets, renewed, because they auditioned before Christmas for series 1. They'll have to start auditioning, because if they start auditioning in January, February, that means they've got film April, May. They're going to be pushed to get that on the same slot if they want that same slot for 2026. Oh, I hope so. It would just do the whole knitting thing. Like it has done with the sewing bee. Too many to mention. No, surely. Karen, the South Bank shot. I loved that theme. Filled me with dread as a kid. That meant the weekend was over, back to school. What will you do with your monthly show now that the Game of the Wool will be on your time slot? I know. Current thinking... I haven't talked with Fizz yet. I might just suddenly hear a flop on the floor at a gasp. My current thinking is that we do an hour earlier, which means she's got to get up earlier. It's morning for her, but a strict hour. So we can have our excitement at 7 o'clock till 8, and we have to finish. We'll finish at 7:55, so we can go downstairs, make the cup of tea, or maybe 7:45. So maybe we'll do 6:45 to 7:45, or 6:30 to 7. What do you think? But it's no. It would. Fizz is saying I might be pushing it. No, it would be a. Oh, Kiwi James had a great word for it. What did you use when you were chatting with me? It's like a harsh. It's a deadline that has to be stuck. We couldn't go over it because we've got to watch it, haven't we, Fizz? So it would do well for shutting me up. That is true. Fizz was saying it might be rushed. Well, then maybe for 2 months there is no Woolpatch Show. Maybe it's a pre Game of Wool chat. Maybe it's just a relaxed chat. But the trouble is on Sunday evenings, if you go too early, there's the results show of Strictly. And I know many people watch Strictly. They're not going to come on to watch us on YouTube, are they? We could do a different day. Don't know. We'll have to have oh, it's a hard stop. There you go. Thanks, Fern's mum too. We could do a different day. We've got to have a plan. We'll have a think and a chat and throw everything into the mix. We could do a midweek. We could do a Wednesday Woolpatch. Oh, we used to do Woolpatch on a Wednesday. It was called Woolly Wednesday. Okay, put that down. Write it down on your pad. Oh, hey, Katrina. Late to chat. Don't matter. Nice to have you here. But listening, that's okay. And many people just watch and don't comment. There's no problems at all. You watch however you want. That's the beauty of YouTube. Should we talk Christmas? I know you've been waiting for it. Okay. The Christmas window 2025 has been decided. It is going to be very, very simple. We do want your help again. It was so fun going back when we first started the idea of the Olympiahens and getting you all to choose an Olympia hen, a country, and then knit that hen flag as you knit the hen and reflect that in the colours was brilliant. We've then pretty much been doing the same since, doing projects where we all contribute. And last year's Christmas display just all melded together quite amazingly. In fact, did I see Reese in the chat? I don't know whether I saw a random comment. Did I? Or did I make that up? No, I must have made that up. Did you see a Reese? No, I clearly made it up. Yes, because I'm scrolling through the chat really quickly. But it was Jimmy Does Knitting, the wonderful Jimmy, and he'd made this pattern to put your wine bottle in. It's like a wine jacket cozy. If you go to a party and you bring a bottle and you knock on the door, hey, hello, oh, here you go, and then you pass the bottle over in this beautiful knitted little jacket. And I saw Reese at Glasgow Yarn do a test for Jimmy's pattern. And then we were talking Christmas, and then like ideas do, they just suddenly form in the brain. It was like, we could do a Christmas tree out of all these bottles. And that was last year's Christmas window. You all made a Christmas jacket. You bought Jimmy's pattern, and then you sent them all in, and then we had the window full. And Lois's other half, James, he made us a tower, and we could sit the wine bottles on. It was beautiful. And we did it over 3 months. Well, the pressure to then work out the Christmas window for this year has been immense. So much so that I've been trying to come up with ideas and it's just not been happening. Well, suddenly a little bit of inspiration did come about, and I've gone for simplicity. What we would like to do is to make a Christmas tree out of 5-inch squares. It's kind of similar to patchwork, and it's like what you can see there on the sampler. And it's like the old school knitted sampler or crochet pattern, where you have this beautiful one colour bedspread, and they're all squares and they're all different. And that's the bit that I thought, that will work a treat, because we can celebrate everyone's style of knitting and crochet, and you can make the square however you like. You could make all with knits and pearls, or with front posts and back posts. You could put a motif in the middle of it, or you could have a recurring motif like some of those. I didn't make one. That's the idea here. And then it's manageable enough not to be too big, but you can have fun with doing different stitch patterns. And then we're going to sew them all together and have a pointed Christmas tree, like a cone. And then they circle round. I need to get a better picture to explain it. But that's the idea. And it's going to be a winter wonderland. It's all going to be white, just pure white. You've got to do any other colour. It's just pure white, because everyone's got some white in their stash, haven't they? Lurking around. Yes, Fizz has got it. But the example is there on that blanket, and it could be something like a motif, but bear in mind it's only going to be 5 inches. So you can't sort of do something, really, really big and elaborate. But then we don't want really big and elaborate, because we want it to be manageable over the next couple of months. Maybe it's something you do whilst watching Game of Wool. You don't even have to design anything. It could be just for a stitch pattern from one of those beautiful stitch diaries, like a moss stitch, or where you play around with pearls and knits and repeat it. It could be a rib, it could be a yarn over pattern, so it could be whole, whatever. But that's the plan. I will firm things up a bit more. I might even make it 6 inches. That's what I've just got to finalise. And then I'll be making a special video where all the details will be in and what you need to do. So this is just to get your taste buds going. So if you've got one of those stitch dictionaries, go to it and start looking, oh yeah, I could do my block. And that's what we're going to call them, blocks. Very much like in the patchwork sewing world, where you'd have your 5-inch block or your layer cake, and then you sew a block with another block, or a patch and patch and a patch to make a 9-patch block, or a 4-patch, whatever. So that's the idea. That gives us all of, not very long, does it? All of November and some of December, which is actually should be doable for a 5-inch square. And for fun during Game of Wool. You never know, you might be inspired by something you see on Game of Wool, a stitch pattern that you've never seen before. So that's the idea. More to come, and then I'll do some special videos on that too. So it'd be lovely to have you join in and send your block in from wherever you are. And also, because it's only perhaps 5 or 6 inches and flat, that should fit in an envelope quite nicely and keep postage really, really minimal. That's the word. Let's do some patterns. So we're saying goodbye to patterns that bring me joy. It's been a lovely feature over the last... it's been a year, hasn't it? Did we start it this time last year, I think, didn't we, Fizz? Yeah. And we asked you just to send us in a pattern that brings you joy. What would it be? Would it be the pattern layout? Would it be the sizing of it? Would it be it's just such a lovely knit because it's so intuitive? That's what we asked. And these are our last 3. There are no more on our form, and it's rather fitting that we end it. And we're ending it because we want some new features. And that's what we asked from you at the beginning. If you're just tuned in, Bob, I know you've only just tuned in, and some of you have joined late. We asked at the beginning for you to give us some ideas for future features. You don't have to come up with the idea, you just have to come up with the title. Put in a fun title that could make a fun game. Me and Fizz will then go and plan the feature. Patterns that bring me joy. I think I got this idea from, what's the feature on BBC Radio 2? Most of my feature ideas come from radio. I don't know why, more radio than TV. Tracks of my years. That was an idea where people then say their favourite tracks. So that was this idea of patterns that bring me joy. And so let's go through our last 3. Margarita, who is often a viewer of our show, has suggested the Viva Tank Top by Sheila. Not even going to be able to say that. Mutwe, otherwise Sheila Crochet Designs. And she says it's a fun construction and a fast project. There's also great YouTube support for the pattern and it's customizable for every body type. I've made 2 and love them both. Let's take a look. There it is. So that's the Viva Tank Top, a pattern that brings Margarita joy. Love it. Really nice. Thank you very much. And the next one is from Emmy. Thanks, Emmy. You're still here in the chat. Emmy has recommended the Cadenza Shawl by Tony Lipsey, TL Yarn Crafts. In fact, I think, who mentioned that last month? Was that Kelly? Or was it Bertus? I think it might have been on the Untangled podcast I do with Jimmy. And Emmy says it's great for different weights of yarns and perfect for using advents. The effect it gives is stunning and it's very easy once you get the hang of Tunisian crochet. There's the link. Fizz, as always, puts the link in the chat. That's where she's so good. Tony Lipsey is considered one of the leaders in Tunisian crochet in the United States for sure. Let's have a look at the pictures. Look at that. Now, from that distance, I wouldn't think that that's crochet at all. And that's the beauty of Tunisian crochet. There is a knitting style to it, a knitting feel to it. Fizz has just said, I do like that. It's the colours as well, though, for that make that pop even more. Colour does have an impact on how a particular pattern can look, for sure, can't it? Thanks. Oh, no, Emmy. Was that Emmy? Yes. Not Emma. That was Emmy, not Emma. Sorry. I'm getting, I know. I'm rushing through. And our last one, is April from Montreal. The Guatemala cardigan from Stephen West. And it's simply, I love a scrappy project that brings April joy. And when you see it, you can go, for sure. Let's push that button. Look at that. I love it. I've not seen this one before. Again, the colours work really well there. I look at that and think, is that scrappy? That looks too good to be scrappy. But that's so cool. A main base of brown, does that look like? And then these just beautiful pops of orange, rust and blue in that. Looks wonderful. Go on. I know. That's so true. Fizz has just said, I'd just like to point out, Stuart, that you finally got your slides down to a T. I know, it's only taken a year to get those buttons right. And when to push them. Thanks for that, Fizz. Right. Okay. I know. No, we just culled that feature for a year. Let's have some new features. So, yes. Oh, was it? Our first... Oh, okay, our first submission came in January. Okay, let's have a quick look through the chat. Kiwi James says they might have enough contestants for 2 series. Oh, yes. Oh my God, that's clever. I never thought about that. They might have even asked them already and done the whole due diligence and everything and the clearance. Oh, yes, of course. That would make sense, wouldn't it? But Stuart, how can you keep a live show? I can. I will. Brilliant. Do you want to see what I'm knitting? Fizz has faith in me. Do you want to see what I'm knitting? Let's go to this. This was partly, no, I want to say mostly the reason why I dropped out of the MCAL. Because this pattern appeared on my Instagram saying it's going to be out soon, it's going to be out soon. Patrick Griffith, who I've never heard of before, I've never seen of before. In fact, am I right in saying this is his first pattern? Whew. What a pattern. And I saw that and I went, well, yeah, I want to make this. Or it was kind of the nail in the coffin for the MCAL for sure, because I just went, I loved it. That is definitely a winter knit that I would love to wear and I'm sure would be excellent to knit. So I started. Now, I bought the pattern and Patrick did suggest that you use a, how did he word it? A thick DK or a light worsted. So you've got a fair option there because we do know that some companies' DKs are a thin Aran. And some companies' 4-ply is a thin DK, and you do learn that the more you knit, you know some companies and where they sort of land in the weight size thing. So I was thinking, well, he said a thick DK, could Morris be used? And that's what I think. Well, Morris has just come into the shop. I could go for that. And the colours in the Morris was wonderful. I haven't got all the colours here, but I was going to cast on. It's top down. So I thought I'd have a go for this. Now, the gauge, he wants 20 stitches to 20 whatever rows, and Morris is 22. On a 4mm, but he wants you to use a 5mm. So as I was doing it, which works out well for our Christmas square, that is the 5mm, and to me, that is it's just a little too open. And I think I'm a loose-ish knitter. I'm not loose goose like Stephen West, but for a Aran, wouldn't you say? For an Aran, well, it is an Aran. It's a jumper. Even there, you'd probably go, you can see too much through, too much of an open stitch. So I thought, right, well, Morris isn't really going to work that. So I'll go for a Aran. Still keep with West Yorkshire Spinners. I'll look at what I've got in the shop. Because after all, I am a yarn shop and I am trying to sell yarn too. I thought I'll use the Fable again. I did love the Fable when I knitted my tank top. The Fable is stunning. If you don't know Fable, it's a brand new yarn launched last autumn and winter, and we got it in the shop. They've released 3 new colours this year, but their original 8 colour base were kind of folklore style, ethereal colours. And they had a green, a moss green, and a light green, and a cream. Well, just had to be that. That's what I thought. So this, it looks brown on there, but that's the light green. Putting it with a white, and then you have the moss, which I conveniently forgot to bring home. So I thought, well, the Aran is 18 stitches. 18 stitches on a 5. Well, I thought, well, I reckon I can do that. I can get away with that. Be a little bit bigger. But if I did it on a 4.5, that might just take me down to get a few extra stitches on my 10 centimetre gauge. And it worked a treat. So I've started, cast on. And it's beautiful. I have, look how much I've done already. I've done the folded, on my first ever folded collar. I've picked, look how beautiful that is. even if I do say so myself. Look how I've picked up my bottom and folded it, and that is, it's beautiful. It is a stunning yarn to knit with. It's entirely British. It's British alpaca and British mohair. I didn't even know we had any goats that we were using for yarn in the UK. Thought it was always imported. But look, can you see the glow on that? That is fabulous. The fluff. I'll look like an 80s fashion designer wearing that. But yeah, it's and there's plenty of stretch there. I don't want to lose some stitches, but there's plenty of stretch there. And I thought this is the time to try out a new style knitting, because 1x1 rib can often look wobbly. Have you ever noticed that? 1x1 rib here. Thankfully, I've got no 1x1 rib here on the arms, but 1x1 rib can just look wobbly. You don't get those even, what do you call it? The rib of the knit stitch going up. They can often look a bit wobbly because of the yarn difference going between a purl and a knit. So I, for the first time, did some combination knitting. And how even do those V's look? I'm rather chuffed with that. And combination knitting is where you purl through the back loop, but these are mounted the wrong way, but in essence it's purling through the back loop, but rather than going long way round and using excess amount of yarn, you actually go clockwise and use limited amount of yarn. So it did feel a bit of a faff at first, because automatically you just want, if you're a thrower, you just want to go, oh, I can't go. You want to go like that. No, sorry, you want to go like that, don't you? Oh, okay. But combination knitting, you go that way round. And it does this amazing thing where it then uses more equal amount of yarn, so your stitches look very even and you don't get that wobble effect between the purl and the knit on one. It's normally on one side of a column. Halfway through, I had to change to a 5 to get a bigger stitch here, so there's more give. Oh, hey Hazel, good to see you. Hopefully, that will go over my head. I think it will. It feels like there's a lot of give. Yeah, it will. It will. Yeah. When I go on to a Hazel, I'll come back to you when I'm down on the yoke and I'm on an 80 centimetre cable. I'll start trying it on. It'll be great. Okay, shall we finish off with some charts, Fizz? Yes, let's. So each week Well, can you believe it? We're on week 44. How many weeks does that take us to Christmas? 52. That means there's 8 weeks to Christmas. Oh yes, it's Boxing Day today. In two months. Yeah, can you believe that? Struth. Every week since January, we do what's hot right now from Ravelry. We look at the charts of the knitting and we look at the charts of the crochet. We click the drop down box that says hot right now and we look at what everyone's looking at. The algorithm of Ravelry just picks it up. What are people looking at? And it's great. We get to see new patterns, new pattern designers that we've never seen of before. And it's very much now what's happening. So, of course, when we did the MCAL, the amount of people that were looking at Stephen West MCAL pattern on Ravelry was huge. He was number 1 for a couple of weeks. So let's have a look of what is number 1 and in the top 10 of the crochet charts right now. I know, I was just saying to Fizz, I can't believe where the year has gone, flown by. You haven't got half as much as you said you wanted to do. You haven't got half as much done, is that right? Yeah, that's what you just said, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Is it me or has it just gone quickly and it's suddenly caught me out? It's like, what? How are we there already? That's what I can't get over. Okay, knitting charts. Do we think we're going to be seeing the ranunculus? What do you think? Place your bets if you're going to see that in the top 10. Let's take a look at the knitting charts hot right now. There is something about... Oh, he's there again. There is something about the woolen pine that I just adore. And I've never knitted anything from them, Fizz. But that hat might be the first thing I do of woolen pine. They do some great patterns, don't they? I think we should. I don't think that was a kid's version, was it? The bindle hat? Oh, right. Let us know if you've knitted a woolen pine. They do some beautiful jumpers. I've seen many a jumper. And I keep thinking, oh, I've got to do one of those. Got to do it. Have you knitted a woolen pine jumper? Let me know in the comments below if you're watching on catch up or in the chat right now. Bob says, goodness sake, give the ranunculus a rest. Might have to make one though. Might have to make one. from a yarn... No! Ow, she just shouted in my ear. But in all honesty, though, from a yarn shop point of view, it is such a good knit for a top down, because you can use so many yarns, and you can do it in a little amount of yarn, especially if you have the short sleeve version. I think in an Aran weight done on 6mm needle or something, it knits up so quickly. Yeah, I might just have to do it because it might tempt a customer or two to buy a couple of balls of wool. You know what it can be like. You see something on a model and you just go, ooh. But yeah, it is. You'd think she'd have changed the picture by now. All I keep seeing is that maple leaf on the front more than the jumper. Oh dear, brilliant. Hey? Oh, you've what? You printed one out? Oh, Fizz has got the pattern already. Go on, how many pages? It's still printing. She's got it. She's printing it out. Oh. Oh my word. Wow. Well, that's why I think they're so good, because they do the different sizes. So there you go. Fizz has bought the pattern already. That's what I love about this show. You all support the designers. You go on, you buy something, you see the link from Fizz, you click on it, boom, done. Ah, isn't that great? Well, there we go, everyone. We were talking about the Sunday feels. Maybe we were saying about the Game of Wool being that the new program you watch on a Sunday. When it finishes, you go, oh, I've got to go to work. I've got to go to bed now because at work Monday. Well, maybe it's this show. Maybe it's actually watching the YouTube. As soon as the Woolpatch monthly show finishes, you're like, oh, yeah. But I know many of you watch all around the world. It's wonderful. Lovely to have your company. It's actually just been nice having a chilled show where we chat, join in with the comments, join in with the live chat. I think we've got quite a few suggestions for shows. If you're watching on catch up, please drop them down in the comments below. A title that could be a feature for to appear on the Woolpatch monthly show. Patterns That Bring Me Joy is gone, so we'll have something new next month or the month after. We'll keep Guest of the Year unless something better comes along. But drop a name in the comments below that me and Fizz will then go and work out a possible feature for it. And if I'm scrolling back through the chat, what did we have? We had Lynn going, guess who's stash? We had Michelle saying knit or not, spots or stripes. I can already feel some ideas there. Let us know. Your brains probably have more time to think if you're watching on catch up. And who knows what features we'll have next month. We may not have any other than Guest of the Year and the gallery. But there we are. Okay, everyone, we're finishing. Next Sunday, 8 p.m, Game of Wool, episode 1. We're going to see the 10 contestants. Lizzie and I will be with you Monday or Tuesday. Would love to have your company as we watch these amazing creators over the next 8 weeks. What a lead up to Christmas that's going to be, Fizz. That's going to be great. Every Sunday night up to Christmas with the fire on, knitting on. And then watching us Monday or Tuesday, and then maybe midweek. We could have a midweek show Wednesday. Oh, even Bev says that's a great idea for the Wednesday live. We could do that too, couldn't we? And then appearing live, maybe talking about yarn and yarn shops. It's going to be a cosy, knitting, crochet, fibre, packed 8 weeks. Hope you don't get fed up. But remember, there are loads of things that you could potentially win, whether in the comments or watching. Remember all those wonderful things from Katia? Let's hear a woo. Ooh. So much. I'd love to have your company. It's going to be a wild ride. And then we can put our feet up at Christmas and have a nice time off. Can't wait. Thanks, Fizz. Thanks, everyone, for a great show. And we'll see you on the next month, whenever that will be. But I'm sure many of you will be watching following Monday or Tuesday for Unravelled. Cheers all. Have a nice night. Cheerio, bye.